I'm gonna wing it. I probably will make it a little shorter than I normally make it, just because we're a little bit behind. I got to eat after this.
No worries.
But either way, I appreciate it.
Sure thing.
Hello. Okay, so we are here for our new edition of Tell Me Tuesday. So I am Courtney Jones, President and CEO of Big Brothers Big Sisters. Super, super excited to be able to once again have a sit down with someone who is connected to our program. So if you've been watching any of our Tell Me Tuesdays, you know that we started these Tell Me Tuesdays as an opportunity to just share with the community, to hear directly from folks who are connected to our work, who are connected to our programs. We have had bigs and littles and board members. In fact, we are having this really cool setup because our board vice chair, Adam Witten, has been making us look good with this really cool setup, because we used to be on a little laptop or a tablet and hoping for the best, and getting up and pushing start and stop. And so now we don't have to do all that. So super, super excited to be able to have conversation today. I am joined by one of our newer bigs. So I am here with Dave. And Dave has come to us, has been matched with his little Haven. And so, Dave, before we talk about your match, I would love for us to just meet you and get to know who Dave is.
All right. Well, I'm Dave Laster. I have 2 adult daughters, and I was a stay-at-home, work-at-home dad, and really enjoyed the experience of raising my girls and hosting their friends and being a class dad and doing field trips and things like that. And I found that when my girls grew up, I really missed having that experience in my life, and started hearing about this program and decided that that was something that I could benefit from, and then others could benefit from my experience and enthusiasm for working with children or mentoring children or just being a positive presence in a life that might benefit from that.
Yeah. So you're a girl dad.
I'm a girl dad, yeah.
You get to have a little brother.
And a little brother, yeah. So it's a new experience for me.
Cool,
But
right?
I'm an older brother. I have 3 younger brothers. I'm the
Okay.
oldest of 4.
Oh, wow.
So I did grow up in a household with a lot of kids and their friends. So I've been around children my whole life. And now I have 10 nieces and nephews.
Wow.
So, yeah, my parents have 12
Uncle Dave.
grandchildren. Yeah, Uncle Dave, very popular
Are you the cool
around the
uncle?
swimming pool. Definitely. Yes, absolutely. You don't
Did
have
your
to.
siblings agree that you're the cool?
Absolutely, yeah. I'm the empty nester, and they're the ones raising kids, so they have to be the disciplinarians, and I get to rev the children up and throw them around the pool and be silly and then leave. So
And leave
yeah,
all that for the parents.
absolutely, yeah. They did it to me. Now I'm doing it to them.
Uncle Dave.
Yeah, Uncle Dave.
So, we were talking about this earlier. I cannot skip past this. You have the coolest business.
Well, thanks.
Never ever knew that this was a thing. First of all, you sell records
Records and CDs, yeah.
online.
Physical media, yep. Own a record store.
The whole physical media thing is wild to me because every vehicle that I have driven
Yeah.
over the last I don't know how many years doesn't even have a CD player anymore.
Right.
So I'm amazed that people still buy vinyl and like
Yeah.
CDs and all of that.
Well, I sell the product for the people that have the stereos at home that they spend a lot of money on. So vinyl turntables and CD players that would knock your socks off with bass and treble that are just otherworldly. So a lot of people say you can't get sound better than you get on vinyl or on CDs. A lot of people just like to look at the bookshelves full of physical media.
Yeah.
So I've been able to cater to those people for 16 years despite the rise of streaming services and a lot of people selling their collections to be on Spotify and whatnot.
That's super
yeah,
cool.
it's
cool.
just like having a bookstore in this day and age. A lot of people like to have something to hold in their hands that they love.
That they love. And
Yeah.
your genre niche is like, we were talking about like heavy metal.
Heavy metal, hard rock, classic rock,
Yeah.
progressive rock, basically the types of bands that make record covers that you want to hang on your wall.
So I was sharing with you my like go-to jam is
Yeah.
Bon Jovi's "You Give Love a Bad Name."
Can't beat it. Yeah, that's
like
a good one.
immediately my head's gonna bang and I'm
Yeah.
going like I'm ready.
So you get it. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally get it. Okay, so you are a girl dad. You have experience with brothers that like you didn't get a choice on who your siblings are. But you have this little
Yeah.
that like our process does necessitate a choice.
Right.
We interview you. We walk through the process, and so now we provided a profile to you about 3 months ago.
About 3 months
You guys
ago,
came
yeah.
back, matched about 3 months, and said, "Hey, what do you think?" And so you were able to agree that this young man, sight unseen, just on a profile,
Right.
coming through email, was going to be potentially a good fit for you to be matched with. Shared your profile with his mom, Serena. She also thought you would be a great person to impact her son's life. And here you are.
And here I
You're a
am.
match.
Yeah.
One of the things that I think is helpful for folks to hear is like your experience going through the enrollment process.
Okay.
Like, how would you think about that?
So initially, there's paperwork to do. There are references. You have to have people in your community that will vouch for you. My original screening also involved a tour of the home
Okay.
to make sure I lived in a place that was going to be conducive to having a little person visit at some point. Coming over to the facility here for a few in-person interviews and quizzes, personality profiles type things. I wasn't matched with anyone other than Haven, so I can't speak to the process of culling through multiples. Haven was the first little that was presented to me, and he seemed like a great fit. So I said, yeah, let's give him a shot. So we met in person along with his mother, and we hit it off. And so it was a very straightforward, easy process for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we are intentional about is child safety and protection.
Right.
Like that is at the top of our list. And when we have parents like Serena who come to us and trust us
Yeah.
to make sure that we're not going to introduce someone harmful, hurtful, all of the things into their child's life. That we take that very seriously. And so, we hope that folks, when they come with the intention to volunteer, with the intention to be a big, understand that. Like, it's not that we think you potentially are a bad person, but like, we are taking two strangers and connecting them. And so that enrollment process is part of what we need to do. It's part of our due diligence. We're trained to be able to screen professionally, to get comfortable with an adult's ability to connect with a child and be a safe place, a safe space for a child. And so thank you for being willing to endure
of course.
the process, right?
Well, I'm a girl dad. I had to vet the guys that came to date my daughters, so you know how it goes. I get it. Yeah.
So a lot of the matches, the folks that we've had on have been matched for a while.
Right.
And so one of the things that is always interesting to hear is, like, how has it been? So you're early in this thing.
Yeah.
Still kind of in the get to know each other phase. What has that been like for you, navigating these initial 3 months and making the connection? I love hearing that y'all hit it off in the beginning. The things that I've heard from some of the team is just like, this is like the perfect match. And not everybody's story is like match made in heaven from day one. Sometimes there is a growth time period. But tell me about these first 3 months and what that's felt like.
Okay. So the first time we got together was here for a personality quiz we each took, and so we learned what each other's favorite ice cream flavor was, what our favorite movies are, that sort of thing. And I thought he gave very thoughtful, interesting answers, so it also gave us a springboard to have conversations the first few visits too, and also gave me an insight as to the things he was interested in, things that we might talk about, things that we might do together. So our first few meetings were playing indoor arcade games. He's interested in antiques, so I took him to my dad's antique store, and we did that for a little while. He expressed some interest in frisbee golf that I was playing, and another outdoor sport, bocce. So I've taken him to play that a couple of times. Okay. We've talked about mini golf, but we haven't gotten to that yet, especially since now the weather is 90 plus degrees. So we've been playing frisbee golf in the woods a couple of times, otherwise indoors, but usually hand-eye coordination type games. He's a big video gamer, interested in history, and we've hung out with a couple of my other adult friends, a retired school teacher and a father of multiple, and they're also inveterate gamers and like to play the frisbee golf. So he's experienced some camaraderie with us out there playing, and he's just as good as they are, and I'm not very good, but all three of them are pretty good, and Haven's competitive and has gotten a lot of self-confidence from playing with the adults and performing well. So it's been a good experience so far. Yeah, we've had a lot of fun together, and we're going to do a fishing trip at some point, not a far away fishing trip, a local fishing trip, and just explore some other interests he has. I try to see him at least once a week and spend usually around 2 hours. There's a bit of a travel distance, so we have to build in kind of a whole afternoon right now, especially now that school is out. There's a more flexible schedule for us.
Yeah. I just what I hear is that you have taken an interest in him and what's important to him.
Sure.
We were talking earlier, I think that as adults, it's very easy, and I say this all the time, but it's very easy to forget the humanity of young folks.
Oh, yeah.
They're kids. They don't have to worry about that. Like, no, they're humans.
Yeah.
And they have a need to be seen and to be safe and to be covered. And so, I hear you engaging with what matters to him.
Yeah.
Exposing him to things that are going to be super cool, but like intentional about engaging in what matters to him. And I think I know that that's part of why this is so impactful. The last question I'll ask you is, we know we are always hearing about the impact of mentoring on the young person. We also hear about what happens to the adult. And
Sure.
so in these first 3 months, what would you say the impact has been on you as a mentor?
Well, certainly I have to be able to communicate with a generation that is foreign to me right now. You know, it's it's a whole new world, and he and I have a 35-year age difference. And again, my daughters are about 10 years older than him, so he is a 13-year-old boy and experiencing a middle school situation that is different from mine. So I'm learning on the fly what it's like to be a teenager in 2025 and to be going through the struggles that all of us experienced in middle school and elementary school and burgeoning high school. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And so it just teaches me to be better suited to navigating this world and understanding what the youth are dealing with in terms of social media and the bullying and the peer pressure and everything like that. So it's just learning empathy and you know, a greater awareness of what we can all do to be kind to each other and help each other through this thing.
I love all of that.
Well, thanks.
All of that. And again, like, it's just, it has, and at times brought me to tears to just hear my generation get it.
Yeah.
You know, we're in a number of partner schools, and one of the things that some of our partner schools say to us is, because some of the programming we do are like our team going in, and so some of the things we hear from some of our partner schools is like, y'all get it. Y'all get kids are not just gonna sit there. Y'all get that kids are in a different world that, you know, than sometimes some folks get. And so I hear that a lot. It's just like, what is gained from mentoring for the adult is just like, man,
perspective.
Like, seriously.
Yeah.
You know, I've had an opportunity to mentor some kids, and like, I'm like, now, what was that again? Like, you know, like, I learned stuff that you think you know all the things. So, well, I thank you for taking a little time.
Absolutely. Thank you.
You're sharing your experience. It's important that, again, like, I think getting folks from all different stages, and to hear a male's perspective, because we have over 150 kids waiting, and 60-ish% of those are boys. And we like to be able to pair a young man with a big brother, because that's just, you know, a bond that will be different than if they didn't have that male presence. And a lot of times the boys who are on our list are lacking a male presence.
Right.
And so love the fact that you're here, that you're part of our family now.
Well, thank you.
And looking forward to all the cool things that you and Haven will continue to do.
Oh, me too.
And like, super glad I got to meet Uncle Dave and sit with Uncle Dave. So thank you to everybody that tuned in. Thank you. We were always excited to be able to have Adam here, because again, he makes this whole thing look good. And so many thanks to our Vice Chair, Adam Witten. And till next time, be on the lookout for flyers, because we will come on again sometime soon. Thank you.